So this is an issue that I actually ran into recently. So, so I've been booking my own loads. The past four loads that I booked them myself because my dispatchers were like, I don't know what was going on, but they were telling me stuff like they couldn't find loads and stuff. So I pretty much had to get on the load boards myself, and I found loads, sufficient loads to pretty much, that either got me to the West Coast, East Coast, home, whatever, So one of my dispatchers, she feels like she's supposed to get paid for that, even though she didn't help me. I mean, that, yeah, she didn't book the load for me. All she did was take the paperwork and send it to the broker, which really, there was no clause that said that if I booked my load, that she was supposed to get a cut. My thing is like, if anything, she should post. I would give her like a portion of, like, say for instance, if she just sent the paperwork, which is already stored in a file, just send it to the broker or whatever. You get like maybe a $25-$50 fee for that, something, I don't know. But like I said, that wasn't even something that was in our agreement, our contract, which we ain't have a contract, but the clause or whatever the case may be. So of course that made me feel some type of way when she basically hit me up and said, "Hey, are you paying me for the load from I think she was talking about from, I want to say it was the load that I took out to Cali or something like that." And I'm sitting there like, no, like what the so anyways, the other one, so two loads, the Sacramento load and the load that I just had coming home. She hit me up and she's like, "Look, I wanted to basically reach out to you early because I know it was frustrating last week not getting loads, and I wanted to basically make sure that we got a head start. So I'm going to try to start early. Like, I know it's a holiday, but I wanted to basically start early." So she basically said, "Look, I'm going to let you know what I find and this, that, and the other." And she says, "By the way, I'm not going to charge you for the invoices for Sacramento and this one home." So I was like, "Bet, that's what's up." I mean, but I was even with that. I was like, I ain't gonna just leave you out there like that. I'm gonna give you a little something, especially being the fact that you did take the time to send the paperwork for me or whatever, because I mean that's a little bit of work or whatever. But like, so yeah, I'm gonna give her a little something for that. But the other one, man, she just made me feel like, oh, I know that I didn't book the load or whatever, but I did, submit this paperwork for you, so I should get the full amount. Like, where they do that at? So you mean to tell me you got a regular job, you go to that job and you don't do shit at all, and your supervisor said, "Here, take and file that piece of paper in a file cabinet," and you think you're supposed to get paid the full amount, and you ain't been doing shit? Like, really, where they do that at? So, they just say, man, and I know, like I said, she got me started and everything like that. She helped me, which I really appreciate the fact that she helped me get off the ground. But sometimes I feel like, man, she's all for self, because really when I think about like the loads that she had booked before, like she kept booking me these loads that had 2 hour plus deadheads and stuff, and I get it, some of the deadheads were probably needed because of the fact that it was hard to get a load that you know out of the area, so but she didn't understand that I didn't like having deadheads that took me like 2 hours south just to go all the way back north to drop the load. I prefer to have a deadhead that basically took me in the same direction as the load drop off, so that it just made sense, because otherwise I was burning a lot of fuel unnecessarily, so. But like I said, with stuff like that that she was doing, that I felt like she just didn't understand what I was trying to do. And even no matter how many times I explained it to her, it's almost like, all she cared about was getting her own money. All she cared about is eating herself. She didn't care if I ate. My thing was like, everybody gets to eat. I'm gonna make sure I take care of everybody. But her, it was like, nah, I'm all for self. Like, let me eat. I can care less if you struggling, whatever the case may be. So I'm like, the fuck? So, but anyways, man, yeah. So that was just an issue that I was running into, and like I said, I had to talk with her about it. You know how some people, man, they just don't see their wrong and shit. They just feel like, okay, you know. But I'm like, you know what? maybe it's the age difference, maybe it's the generation, who knows what it is. I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and say it's any particular like race, any particular like, sex or anything like that. I just think that some people have a misconception of how a business, how a partnership, all that shit is supposed to be run. I'm like, dude, maybe because I'm older, maybe because I'm more experienced, I just don't. There's certain shit I don't believe in. I don't believe in fucking over the other person, male or female, just for my own gain. Like, that's that crazy shit to me. Like, what the fuck? Like, if I'm partnering up with you or whatever, I'm expecting us to eat equally, eat the same amount. So I'm not gonna feed you like bread while I'm sitting there eating the meat. Like, the hell? Like, I'm sitting there like I'm the one that's freaking doing all the cooking, and she thinks she supposed to eat up all the food. Like, where they do that at? So, anyways, man, like I said, basically, but yeah, with the other dispatcher, man, I did appreciate the fact that she was like, look, she even came to me. She says, look, last week sucked pretty much, and I want to get a head start on things. She hit me up today. I was dropping off my load today, and she hit me up and she says, hey, look, last week sucked. I want to get a head start on next week. What day you trying to come back? Monday, whatever. And I said, hey, Tuesday. And she's like, bet. She said, so I'm going to look up some things, look for some things, and I'm going to let you know what I find, and then we going to go from there. I said, I can appreciate that. You know what the other one, where the other one is? She in Puerto Rico. Yeah, she in Puerto Rico. And let me back up. She is there for the simple fact that she told me that her cousin passed away, and I get that, and my condolences to she and her family. But even before that, though, it was like she was all about self. It was like nothing to do with. Several times, man, in the past, she basically came at me sideways in reference to the money. Like, we hadn't even dropped the load yet. And she basically was like on me about, you think I can get the money? I'm not about, I don't want to get paid every other week and this, that, that. I never had one time paid her every other week. Usually for me, it was whenever I dropped the load and I got my money from my factoring company, she got paid. That's just how it worked. But, she came at me sideways and I sat there like, what? And matter of fact, when she did that shit, I said, bet. So I hadn't even dropped one load yet. And I hadn't even gotten paid for it yet. I not only paid her for the load that I dropped a day or so prior to that, but I paid her for the one I hadn't even dropped yet, just to say, look, I ain't the one that's basically trying to hold you from getting your money and shit, or I'm trying to hold your money, or I'm trying to play you or some shit like that. That ain't me. Ain't never been me, never will be me. So that shit kind of like got to me then. And then when she tried to hit me up just now, I just sat there like, nope, nope, nope. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you for getting me off the ground. I mean, I gave you so much praise, and I'm pretty sure most of you who knew the story knew I gave her a lot of praise because she did put in some good work. But then it's almost like she got lazy as fuck and didn't want to work no more. Like she, felt like she was just too good or some shit. Like, I don't know, it felt like, I needed her like that. And I like, yeah, I felt like I needed your help and stuff like that. And not to say that I don't need it now, but I don't need somebody that's basically about, all for self. So it's all that. But anyways, it's playtime with me and the girls, and we about to get here. They want to play Barbie and all that stuff. So, you know, about to go ahead and do that with them. So I'll be back with y'all in a minute. Comment down below, man. Tell me what y'all think, like about that situation. Do you feel like she should get paid the full amount, a certain amount, nothing at all? Like, let me know, man, because of course, I always want to do the right thing. I don't want to feel like that I'm doing anything shady or whatever the case may be. But yeah, just let me know as far as like that, because again, I don't want to just kick the girl to the curb, because like I said, she did, and it's not like I'm trying to be loyal to her, because she probably damn sure ain't being loyal to me. But I'm just basically trying to make sure on my part, because I don't want to ever have nobody saying, oh, he was shady, he ain't do this, he ain't do that. So just let me know, like, what you think. Should I basically, like I said, I'm definitely not giving the full amount. I'm not doing that shit. But I want to know, like, what percentage or what portion or how much should I give, if anything at all. Just let me know. But yeah. So, anyways, man, it's the weekend. It's time to chill. Time to basically, like, As always, sit back and reflect on the past week. Try to come up with new ideas and things like that to, make it easier to find loads. And like I said, I've chosen a lane, which, like I said I'm going to stay in the east to Midwest to northeast to North Midwest, and occasionally I might travel southeast, like Florida area, whatever. But I hear that it's hard to get loads out of Florida, and even out of like Carolina at times, and Georgia. I think it might be cool, but otherwise, just let me know. But they're back with more stuff. So break time is over.